All right, now we're back with a different type of system in the same tote. Uh, we want to explain something here about this bottom tank here. This is your nutrient tank, and starting your unit, fill this tank half full, the nutrient tank half full, and this tank half full. But all the water that you put in it, I want it mixed with your fertilizer. Mix all your water with your fertilizer. Half a tank there, half a tank here. But it's got to be mixed with your fertilizer so you won't dilute your nutrient as you begin to fill it up. Okay? And also that pump that's down in the bottom of the tank there. You can buy these at your pet store, or I got a company that Seth is going to give you the information on later on, that you can buy anything that you want for a hydroponic and aquaponic system. Whether it be the pump, the netting cups, the clay balls, or air pump, any kind of the fittings and all, you can buy from this company here. And I usually get mine within 2 to 3 days, anything that I order. One more thing that I failed to explain is Uniseals. These Uniseals can go inside or outside. It doesn't make any difference the way it goes. But if you put one in the inside, you always want to push your pipe in from the side that got the flare on it. Because you push it from this side, you'll push it back out the hole. So that's just a little something that I want you to know. Now, this system here is called a floating raft system. You kind of get the idea why they call it a floating raft system. The only benefit for a floating raft system is that if you had a longer system, that you could plant this section here, slide it down and plant another section, slide it on down and plant another system, and by the time that these first ones that you're planting, or the last one that you planted, by the time those plants begin to come up or begin to grow or blossom, that first row down there is ready to harvest. So this is the one that they use for production. That's all it is. And all it is a styrofoam siding, that's all. And I cut those holes with this 3-inch hole saw. I cut those holes with this. There's some other way that you can do it, but this is what I done. I cut them with this 3-inch hole saw. This is the same system. One system is closed loop, one system is the floating raft. Some people call it deep water culture, but it's the same system. And you can use it. Those sheets of styrofoam come in a 4x8 sheet. You can get them 2-inch thick, which I like 2-inch thick because my cup only comes out 1/4 inch at the bottom. You can get them 2-inch thick or either ½ inch thick. But I prefer that you use these right here. They're more sturdy, and your cup won't fill up with water. A lot of plants don't like for the stem to be in water. All they want their roots to be in water. So that's the best way to do it. See, if that water would come up to about here, part of your stem or your plant would be in the water. And most plants don't like for the stem to be wet at all times. Some plants don't like the roots to be wet all the time, but you have to decide what plants you're going to plant. Now over here, Sarah, if we could move a little bit. This one here is called a deep water culture unit here. This is a system that they call deep water too. Or you could call it a floating raft, but most people call it a deep water culture system. And the way that I do that is I use the same styrofoam that I use over there on that tote over there. And you can design this. All it is a piece of OSB wafer board of plywood, you should say, with some 2x6 board I just screwed together. This is 6 mil plastic. That's all that is, like going on greenhouse or hot tunnel. This is 6 mil. You want something pretty thick. So this is 6 mil that it won't tear. These are regular strips. That's all I got. You put it in there. Make sure that you got the plastic up against the wall so that when you put the water in there, it won't pull this plastic out from under the strip. I just basically got a few screws in there. I know you're showing it, but I didn't put all the screws in it. I just want to demonstrate how to. You put your water in here. For the overflow system is a hole right here. This Uniseal goes on, cut that hole out with that plastic and put that in there. It seals the plastic and that hole at the same time. This is your overflow valve right here. Once that water come up to a certain height, it'll run out that hole back to your nutrient tank, just like this other system over here doing. Now, in order to demonstrate this, you can design the way that you want these holes any way you want it. Some people want them all in line. Some people want to stack them. Whatever way that you want these to grow, they'll grow either way you want it. So it's just according to the way that you want to design it. So it ain't no particular way to design it. So what I start doing is if I got a piece this size, I'll do about 4 cross. So I get about 2 inches away from that. It's not a perfect design, whatever you want. That's the way it is. You have to turn it over and finish it out. And it'll pop out. It's just easy as pie. So then I go all the way across. You can put them close together as you want it or farther away apart as you want it. That's just your desire, that's all. That's your design and your desire. Whatever way that you want to design it, it's fine. That's the way it looks. There's not no rocket science to it. It's just the way that you design it happen. And all it does is sits back in here, and the water comes up to the level where we had it at, where we had the water hole at. It comes up to that level, and that's where this is where this will stand. It'll stay right there at that level, wherever that water is. That's where it'll stand. Never go up, never go down. The water circulates just like that system over there. They're the same system, it's just a bigger system. And you can possibly put 4 in a row here, and you can say, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, about maybe 8, 10, 12 rows. You think about, you got 8 times, say 4. 8 times 4, 32 plants in something like this. That every 21 days from a plant, now not from a seed, from a plant, 21 days it's time to harvest it. It's the maturity, it's time to get it out and put something else in it. From a seed, it takes a few days longer. But it don't take as near as long as it does in the soil. If you put a lettuce plant in here, in 21 days, that plant is ready to harvest. If you put it in the soil and your pH is exactly right, it takes almost 45 days. So you're cutting less than half. You're cutting less than half of your growing time with your plants. It's easy to manage. There's no lot of work. Just keep your nutrient right in it. Now there's one thing that you can do. If you're using concentrated fertilizer, which most of it is organic, so you don't have to worry about that. If you'll change your water from the time that you begin from plant or seed, when that plant began to blossom, you change your fertilizer, and the middle number on your fertilizer will come up, which is your phosphorus. It won't be the same as you're starting the plant with. The middle number will be phosphorus. That phosphorus will make those blooms turn into fruit. And the fruit really need a lot of phosphorus when it begins to turn to set fruit. So, if you do it right, you can increase this thing to tenfold, and you never have no work whatsoever to do. Just watch it growing. And then that's about all for the hydroponic system. The next part will be the aquaponic system. And we'll get all that set up and then we'll come back.